I think.
Is it 10 o'clock already? Bloody hell. Okay, moment of silence. Good day, people of the interwebs. I am sorry I didn't go live last week, but the commissar at YouTube found in its wisdom that I should be punished for daring to speak against the common doctrine or narrative. Obviously, I said something about masks that must have been utter disgraced, and for that I have to be punished, or at least I was, because I got my first strike and I wasn't allowed to upload or go live. And at one point I'm like, maybe I shouldn't talk too much about this topic again, because the chance of a second strike is definitely part of the whole story. But at the same time I'm like, yeah, you know what, maybe I will get a second strike. Should I care? I don't know. I really don't know. Anyway, hi there, good people. I have with me Michael Keller, who is in the Discord server, and he's able to talk, or at least he was a moment ago. And I see that Ludicrous is in the chat, and Michael is there too, obviously. Hi there, good people. I was planning on doing a whole sort of stuff about whatever, but I thought I'm going to start about the mask thing anyway. Because, well, yeah, I did get a strike for it, but I did claim that the World Health Organization kind of did say that we were right on what I said last week. And hi there, Real Raven. Yes, I got a strike for our live stream 2 weeks ago. That's why I didn't go live last week. Anyway, so you're no longer with me then, Michael? That's
well, yeah, I'm still here. Hi, folks.
Go on then.
Well, yeah, just said hi to the people.
Yeah, well, you can say more than just hi.
Okay, well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, Raven. Hello, Ludicrous. Hello, Modwayne. It's a pleasure to be here. Hi, Morris, who just entered the chat. And I give the floor to Modwayne to talk about the mask topic.
Well, as you can see, as the background of our live stream today is the art of reading between the lines is as old as manipulated information. Now, what do I mean with that? Well, we've been hearing a lot of manipulated information. How much of it? Well, hey, a lot. Let's put it at that. And I'm going to talk on the coronavirus disease mask thingy based on what the World Health Organization is actually putting out there. So if I'm going to get a strike, well, fuck you, YouTube and your commissars. But why do I not believe the World Health Organization if you tell me that they are absolutely correct every time, all time? Yeah, that's a little bit of frustration on my end. That was a terrible sentence. I totally agree. But I'm going to show you the World Health Organization. Here we go. This is of the World Health Organization, WHO.int, World Health Organization International. And the site brings me to the coronavirus disease, COVID-19, masks. And this has been updated in December 2020. And I've opened the first point for you. Masks are a key measure to suppress transmission and save lives. We'll come back later on what they define as masks, but let's start with that one. Masks should be used as part of a comprehensive do-it-all approach, including physical distancing, avoiding crowded, closed and close contact settings, good ventilations, cleaning hands, covering sneezes and coughs, and more. Depending on the type, masks can be used for either protection of a healthy person or to prevent onward transmission. Out of this whole sentence, well, the first sentence not, because masks are a key measure to suppress transmission and save lives. Yeah, that's a meaning, whatever. Masks should be used as a part of a comprehensive do-it-all approach. So there are lots of things you need to do for masks to be able to help as well. And in that whole list, there is one thing that actually does work. And this has been tested and proven time and time again. Good ventilation. If you have good ventilation, then there is a far smaller chance of you actually getting infected. That's why there are so few people that have been infected outdoors. Then the World Health Organization will ask you who would wear what kind of mask. And here we go. This is in all fairness the important bit. Medical masks are recommended for health workers, anyone who is feeling unwell, including people with mild symptoms, anyone awaiting a COVID-19 test, and people caring for someone who is suspected of a confirmed case. Medical masks are also recommended in the following groups because they are at a higher risk of becoming seriously ill. People that are older than 60 and people with underlying health conditions like me. That's a distinctive group. Hence, not everyone should be wearing these medical masks. So who should wear the other ones? The non-medical masks can be used by the general public under the age of 60 and who do not have underlying health conditions. Oh, wait a second. Are non-medical masks then as good as medical masks? Because medical masks seem to be used for people that need protection. So why are we using non-medical masks? Obviously not because they give protection, because if they would have given plentiful protection, then everyone would be okay with non-medical masks. Let's continue on that mask thing. Why should masks be worn by the general public? In areas where the virus is circulating. Masks should be worn when you're in crowded settings, where you can't be at least 1 meter away from others, and in rooms with poor or unknown ventilations. Hence, good ventilation is important. This is also why outside not a lot of people have been infected. I won't say zero, but it's definitely not more than a few. This is also why they keep telling that there are super spreader events, but most of these super spreader events outdoors didn't really spread anything. While wearing a mask, you should still keep physical distance from others as much as possible. Wearing a mask does not mean you can have close contact with people. So how much protection does these masks give you? I mean, we know that giving a person a hand doesn't in itself transmit COVID. COVID doesn't get transmitted through sweat. If a visitor comes to your home who is not a member of the household, you should wear a mask if you cannot maintain a physical distance or ventilation is poor. Again, poor ventilation. And when you're outside, wear a mask if you cannot maintain physical distance, but obviously they're not talking about ventilation because outside ventilation is good. This is also, once again, why wearing masks outside isn't that important. They keep telling you that to do it, but again, which masks? Well, in all fairness, if you wanted to do anything, it should be a medical mask. And then it should be an FFP3, if I'm not mistaken, which is the strictest of masks. Which, by the way, manufacturers will tell you that they do not give full protection against viruses. But that's a different story altogether. Should I wear a mask while exercising? People outside running or biking, should they wear a mask? Now this is very important. Even when you're in an area of COVID-19 transmission, masks should not be worn during vigorous physical activity because of the risk of reducing your breathing capacity. No matter how intensely you exercise, keep at least 1 meter away from others. But yeah, don't wear a mask. Now, this is the funny thing. This is an important point that a lot of people don't seem to pick up on. Because what is vigorous physical activity? For a healthy person, jogging or riding a bike fast is vigorous physical activity. But there are people who can barely move. They have a weak body. People like me. Shopping is already vigorous physical activity. It tires me out. It does. Now, in all fairness, I've mentioned many a time that I can't wear a mask. Even if I'm sitting still, I can't wear a mask. Because to me, this is the reason. It's vigorous physical activity. And it's reducing my breathing capacity. If this is true for people like me, trust me, it's true for everyone. But how much of it is true? I mean, if you have healthy lungs, you're probably able to deal with it better than I do. But it's still not good for you because you're still not taking in the amount of oxygen you need. Why do I say that? Because they say so right here. Masks should not be worn during vigorous physical activity. What's vigorous? Well, that depends on the person. If you have a good health and you have a good condition, you can handle it better than people who do not have good health or a good condition. How do I choose what fabric mask to buy or ideal fit and fabrics if I make one my own? Well, obviously check filtration, breathability and fit when choosing a fabric mask. It could be held in place comfortably with just little adjustment using elastic band or ties. There are different mask shapes such as flat fold or duckbill.
May I interject? How shall one check for if it's
Filtration?
comfortable, if it fits? You can't take the masks off and say, okay, I need another one.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah,
basically
they are
they say
contaminated
just
then.
buy it, try it, and if it's not good enough, throw it away.
So pay as many as possible, they say.
Well, basically, yes. I mean, there have been people making lots of money in selling masks. I read an article in the Netherlands of a guy who became a millionaire just because he started selling masks. Obviously, he
Yeah,
started selling
here in
them.
Switzerland.
Yeah, they started
Guys
selling them to the
buying en
government.
large when they realize the pandemic is coming, having all the masks in stock and everybody needing masks. Well, they made a fortune.
Well, in the Netherlands it was even funnier because the Dutch government gave away most of the masks we had because, oh, poor China. And then we didn't have any, so we had to buy them. And at first we bought them only from China. We didn't even buy them from producers in our own country. But those producers were there. So they kept producing, and all of a sudden people started complaining about, well, there's too much being bought in China and the stuff they send us is crap. And then all of a sudden they could say, oh, well, here's mine, and it only is twice as expensive as it used to be, so it's a bargain for you. And so they became millionaires. In all fairness, I can't even blame them. But yeah, it's quite annoying. Masks with vents or exhalation valves are not advised because they allowed unfiltered breath to escape the mask. That's kind of funny. Mask with vents and exhalation valves. So basically,
but isn't that how many FP2 masks are designed here in Europe? With
all of them. All FP2 masks.
So the
all FP2 masks. You filter breathing in.
Tilt. Oh.
With FP2 masks, you filter breathing in, but you do not filter breathing out. All of them. So yeah. Welcome to being told what to do by people who do not realize what they're telling you. FP3 mask, by the way, filter in and out. But yeah, none of them are good enough for viruses according to producers. But here's the funny thing. How do I choose what fabrics mask to buy, or if I make one my own? Well, obviously, fabric masks should be made of 3 layers of fabric. An inner layer of absorbent material, such as cotton, a middle layer of non-woven, non-absorbent material. It's not absorbent, so what is it there for? Polypropylene, and an outer layer of non-absorbent material, such as polyester or a polyester brand. Now, the mask that we see the most is the blue one. Does that one in any way or shape fall under, oops, come on then, this? Let me see if I can find the simple throwaway mask. Come, there you are.
While Modwin is searching, let me interject. FFP3, Modwin and I will be talking about lots, I think. They are known as respirators in overseas regions like the United States and so on. So just the people know what we are talking about.
Now, I'll see if I can, content is not available. Come on, you silly, silly stream. Do I have another one? Lots of them of people throwing them away. Okay. Research results indicate you must throw away your throwaway mask. This is a throwaway mask. And it's very thin, by the way. I don't know if any one of you ever held one of these. How is it an inner layer of absorbent material, an outer layer of polypropylene, and a middle layer? Sorry, I've fucked up the sequence. But how is this a 3-layer mask? Yeah, I know, it's not. But we're still being told that it is. I'm sorry, Michael can't see it. Well, he will see it in a moment in the chat.
I know how these masks work.
Yeah,
I was an NC scout back in army days, so we had what we were calling the little mask knowledge, and yeah, I know what these masks are made of, what they work against.
Well,
that's why
they work against large dust.
They prevent people of spitting into each other or sneezing into each other.
Yeah.
But that's almost it.
Yeah. I mean, you can use them, for example, if you're wearing in a sawmill to prevent sawdust from coming in.
And they actually do work when you ride the bicycle and you drive through a bug-infested area. You can put on the mask and you will not breathe in one single bug.
Yeah.
Trust me.
For those things, it's pretty good. Okay. How should I wear and clean a fabric mask? Now, how to put it on. Before touching the mask, you should never touch the mask. If you put on your mask, you should only touch the strings or the elastic bands, but you should never touch the masks. So if you want to clean your hands with alcohol-based hand drop soap or water, doesn't matter, do not touch the mask. Now, you may want to inspect the mask for tears or holes because you don't want to use a mask that's damaged, but obviously you do not want to reuse a mask either. But never mind that. Why not inspect it? But whilst inspecting it, do not touch the mask. Adjust the mask to cover your mouth, nose and chin, leaving no gaps on the side. Now, we've all seen people wearing those blue face masks, and you know what they have on the sides? Freaking big gaps. I mean, I'm not sure if anyone ever seen this video. I'm going to show it. Blowing smoke in a mask. Videos. So, yeah, I'm thinking it's going to be this one. So, this is one of those cheap blue masks. Oh, for fuck's sake, woman, she made a hole in it. Okay, that's not what I wanted to show you people. It works, but it's stupid. Come on. Yeah, same thing. These people made a hole in a mask. That's an interesting way of dealing with it.
Well, it makes breathing a lot easier.
That's true. But yeah, if you're not going
to wear... And it actually prevents the same as a closed mask against the virus.
Yeah, that is also true. So this is going to be another strike. But this is not me telling people to do this. What I want people to see is people blowing through a mask. Now this is the N95 mask, where people also say it's really good. I'm going to move it up a bit. Oh, you talk too much. I talk too much too. Fair enough. Okay. So here we see him with the mask on.
It just comes right out the bottom of the mask. So, in essence...
did I already miss it? Okay, here we go.
It just comes right out the bottom of the mask. So, essence,
I have to admit, this is not a good video because I didn't really see anything happening. Did anyone else? Is it this one then? I should have prepared this better, I guess.
So you put mask on?
Now you can see with this... come off it.
Then you blow it.
Yes, that's brilliant.
So this one I got from Houston, the fire will not go off. Now watch the one I got.
Never mind. There used to be a lot of videos on board of people blowing smoke in a mask and you see it coming out on all sides. But okay, never mind.
Well, yeah, but that N95 guy there was using an N95 with an exhaust valve. That's exactly what the WHO was warning against. That Chinese woman, well, yeah, just demonstrating how the thing works.
Yeah, well, blowing in a mask is interesting, but it's not about blowing. Anyway, so place a strap behind your ears, obviously. Avoid touching the mask while wearing it. No, you have to avoid touching the mask when you put it on as well. And change your mask if it gets dirty or wet. And especially the wet part is very important. You should always change your mask when it gets wet. This is also why you need to change your mask, no matter what fabric you use, roughly every half an hour. Because when we exhale moist as well. And that builds up on the inside of the mask. So you should never wear a mask longer than half an hour. How to take off and store a fabric mask. Clean your hands before taking off the mask. No, when you take it off, who cares? Take off the mask by removing it from the ear loops, which is always a good thing because otherwise you might get whatever on your fingers. If your fabric mask is not dirty or wet and you plan to reuse it, put it in a clean plastic. No. If you wore a mask for more than a few minutes, if it's not a reusable mask, throw it away. If it is a reusable mask, it needs to be washed. Even if you only wore it for a few minutes. Do not put it in a clean plastic reusable bag or in your pocket or anything. But you do need to clean it. If it's a reusable one and you need to clean it, you need to clean it. Funny enough, you need to wash it at 90 degrees, but at least 90 degrees. They won't say that. How to clean a fabric mask. Wash fabric masks in soap or detergent and preferably hot water at least 60 degrees. No, at least 90 degrees. Oh, yeah, sorry, 90 degrees centigrade. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit. I'm sorry, people. You have an idea about that one, Michael?
Nope, but let me check.
No, well, you don't have to do that. Who cares? If it is not possible to wash the mask in hot water, then wash it in soap, detergent and room temperature water, followed by boiling the mask for 1 minute.
It's 194 degrees Fahrenheit.
Okay, 194. Now, boiling your mask, or putting your mask in water and boiling it, is actually better than washing it with detergent and soap. Because detergent and soap is meant to clean certain things, but you don't want to clean it. You want to kill the germs. Boiling water, steam is rather good at that. The problem is that most masks, especially if you have masks that have polypropylene or other polyester parts in it, if it gets too hot, it will actually damage the consistency of the mask. So now you have a catch-22. Do you want to wear your mask? Yes, you want to. Do you want to wash your mask? Yes, sure you want to. Do you want to kill a virus? Yes, you do. Well, then you have to boil it. But if you boil it, you might damage your mask, which means your mask is useless. So how are you going to do with that?
Ultraviolet light.
Well, actually, that's a very good one. Ultraviolet light does kill viruses. That's absolutely a good one. That's probably the only one that I can think of real fast. Okay. How should I put on, wear and take off a medical mask? Now, the funny thing is, once again, they say before touching the mask, you should never touch the mask. You can wear the strings or the how do you call them? Elastic bands or whatnot, but you should never touch the mask. Oh, wait a second. Is this the same one? How should I wear and clean fabric mask? How to put on? And how should I put on? How should I wear? It's the same one, isn't it? How to put on and take off a medical mask. How to put on and wear a fabric mask. Is putting on a mask really something different based on the type of mask? You should never touch your mask.
Well, the only difference I see in this explanation is the remove the straps from behind the head or ears without touching the front of the mask. Remove the mask, lean forward and pull the mask away from your face. That's the only difference, I think.
Yeah, that's weird.
Oh, and to discard them instead of cleaning them.
Yeah.
It's just copy and paste, damn it.
The last part they say, beware of the condition of the mask. Replace it if it gets soiled or damp. And it gets damp roughly every half an hour at least. Sometimes even faster. This is why I always find it funny that I see people outside, it's raining and they wear a bloody mask. People, that's dangerous. There's a reason why they tell you to replace it when it gets soiled or damp. Okay, what's the difference between a medical mask and respirators like the N95? Medical masks, also known as surgical masks, are composed of three layers of synthetic non-woven material, configured to have a filtration layer sandwiched in the middle and available in different thicknesses and have various levels of fluid resistance and filtration. Now, respirators, also known as filtering phase piece resistors or FFP, are available in different performance levels such as the FFP2, FFP3, the N95 and the N99. Basically, you want to have FFP3. Those are the ones that come closest to be able to stop anything. FFP2 is, I'm sorry, not good enough. Medical
but
mask.
we should also mention, well, the WHO should mention that the FFP2 and FFP3 were not given away freely before the coup, because you have to have a medical checkup if your lungs are able to deal with the mask. Because you will breathe back a lots of CO2 and other things. It's harder to breathe in oxygen through the mask. I still can't understand why they just freed the use of these masks for everyone. It's fucking dangerous.
Well, you have to be careful. I mean, if you wear these masks, your breathing will become labored. I mean, you have to work harder for breathing. So this is also what they said at the beginning. If you're sporting, if you go, oh, where is it? Where are you? You should not wear a mask during vigorous physical activity. And sometimes these masks, where are we now? Sometimes these masks make breathing so hard that you could actually get tired from it. But if your lungs are strong enough, then yeah, sure, why not? Even though still maximum half an hour, and do not touch the mask. Medical masks and respirator masks are similar in their protection value. And this is not true. There's a reason why there's a difference.
They are.
Well, yes, against the virus they are. That is completely correct. However, respirators are specific for certain procedures and instances because they have a tightly fitted component to them. Respirator masks are designed to protect healthcare workers who provide care to COVID-19 patients. That's not true. That's not where respirator masks were designed for. Respirator masks were designed for other work, to be honest.
Yeah, for high dust areas, for example.
Yep.
To work with asbestos and so on.
Yep.
That's what they were known for.
Yep. Healthcare workers should be fit, tested before using a respirator to ensure that they are wearing the correct size. As in, you should make sure that the size you get is actually fitting your face. Which is kind of funny for men with beards because, well, you have to shave, don't you? Another good reason for me not to wear a mask, I guess. But you can't have a tightly fitting mask if you have a beard.
Yeah, and you don't have a fit test only for, does the mask help? But also, can you breathe with this mask? Because it's fucking hard to do so, even if you don't have asthma or anything with the lungs.
True that, true that. And indeed, Paolo, a lot of people still wear a mask whilst jogging. It's interesting to see why people do that. Now, whatever, does the WHO recommend the use of masks with exhalation valves to prevent transmission of COVID-19? Now, what are masks with exhalation valves? Well, that's kind of funny because the FFP2 and FFP3, I'm going to show you the FFP2 mask. Why not? Opa. Now this is an FFP2 mask. And you know, I'm showing you under the 3M, and I'm sorry again, Michael can't see it, but you guys can. This is a valve. This is a valve. This is a valve.
Well, to be fair, there are masks without valves, and they are recommended and sold.
Yeah.
The ones with the valve, they are bought from the what they are called Home Depot stores and so on.
Yeah.
Because to exhale, you don't need dust filter.
No, that is true. It's here I show you an image of a mask. This is an N95 face mask without a valve. But if you look really good now, okay, it's on a dummy. But if you look really good, you can see that here and here the mask isn't a tight fit. How can you see it? You can see it by the how do you call it? Folds in the fabric. But it's difficult to get a tight fit. Let's be honest. But most FFP2 masks and FFP3 masks have a valve. And that's the problem. Because they don't want you to have a valve. No, the WHO does not advise using masks or respirators with an exhalation valve, because those exhalation valves mean that you breathe out indistinctly, and those particles you've breathed out will go through the valve into the air. Yeah, this makes the mask ineffective at preventing the spread of COVID-19 or any respiratory virus. I'm not going to make a joke about how other masks are not better or worse. Does the WHO recommend the use of gloves in the community to prevent transmission of COVID? No. Oh, wait a second. Weren't our hands a part of the problem? Well, you can wash them with alcohol and whatnot so that you destroy the protective layer of fat on your hands, and then your skin goes open and you're more likely to get infections. But when you're wearing gloves, you don't have that problem, but you don't have to wear gloves. By widely improving hand hygiene practices, countries can help prevent the spread of COVID-19. The thing is, hand hygiene practices are very important, but you gotta be careful not to wash your hands too often. Because if you wash your hands too often, I'll show you. Come on, what happens if you wash your hands too often? Here we go. Washing your hands is very important. This is very interesting, but I was hoping to show you images of what happens when you wash your hands too often, but obviously I don't get to see that. That's too bad. Why do I see... Nah, never mind. Is this it? Nope, this is not it either. I am sorry, people. The thing is, what happens with you when you wash your hands too often, and you can try this yourself at home, you will get dry skin. And this is a problem. Why? Well, because your skin has a layer of fat in it. And your skin combined with that layer of fat is your primary defense against viruses and bacteria, by the way. By destroying that top layer, your skin becomes porous, which means things can come in. So where hand hygiene is indeed important, you have to be careful not to wash your hands too often. It's kind of funny, I had to go to the dentist yesterday and they wanted me to wash my hands with alcohol, and I'm like, yeah, I'm sorry, I can't do that because my skin is already, well, sensitive is maybe not the right word, but it's annoyed fast. No, the ones that we have is special. It also oils it up a bit. And I'm like, okay, you know what, I'm going to give it a try because I don't want to be a bastard. So I washed my hands, and from the dentist I went straight to work, and the whole fucking day my hand was itching like hell and part of my skin was white because of dryness, and that's how annoyed my skin got. Yeah, some people have bad luck when it comes to what the government deems a good idea. Anyway, when should health workers wear masks in the context of COVID-19? And this is the important one. Health workers are the most likely to be exposed to COVID-19 because they are in close contact with patients with suspected, probable or confirmed COVID-19. This is true. There are people who actually work with people that have COVID. In areas of the communities or cluster transmission, health worker, caregivers and visitors should wear a mask at all time. When in the health facility, even if physical distances can be maintained, masks should be worn throughout their shifts, apart from when eating, drinking, or needing to change the mask for specific reasons. So basically always. Health workers and caregivers, including doctors, nurses, midwives, medical attendants, cleaners, community health workers, and other working in clinical areas are the ones that need to wear them. Health workers must remember to combine hand hygiene, yada yada yada. Funny enough, here we don't hear about the importance of good ventilation. In areas with sporadic spread of COVID-19, health workers in clinical areas should wear medical masks throughout their shift, apart from when eating. Basically the same thing. This is kind of funny. Or rather, I don't think it's funny, but this is basically what they say. A health worker, as health workers have been infected with COVID-19 outside of the health facility, it is critical that health workers, as all people, follow the guidance to protect themselves. But then we go back to the top. Who should wear what kind of mask? medical masks are meant for people over 60, health workers in clinical settings, anyone who's feeling unwell, and etc., etc., etc. So when I'm a health worker and I'm at work, I fall under this category. When I'm not at work, I fall under this category. But this category does already not give protection. How do we know that? Well, if this would give protection, it would have been good for the people here. And it's not. So we know it doesn't give protection. When should masks be worn by the general public? While wearing a mask, you should still keep social distancing. Okay. When outside, wear a mask if you cannot maintain physical distance. Again, people, I'm at a loss for words, because basically here they will tell you, when outside, wear a mask. Here they tell you, in area of health workers, caregivers, and blah, 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 should be wearing a mask at all times. But certain masks they should, and certain masks they should not. Which is the best way to deal with it then?
Well, to be fair, I think the WHO is talking about people who are infected, what's the word? I forgot. Those who think they are infected, that they should wear the mask even outside. It's not. They don't say everybody has to wear the masks.
Well, they kind of do say, well, not anymore. But here they will tell you medical masks are recommended for these people. But do you wear a medical mask when you're not in a work environment? For example, do you wear a medical mask outside? Where we are about outside. I'm pretty sure I saw that too. When outside, wear a mask if you cannot maintain physical distance. For example, busy markets, crowded streets, etc., etc. So, if you can maintain physical distance, you shouldn't wear a mask. So outside, the wearing of a mask is not really necessary. Now, personally, I believe that when you're outside, you're mostly safe anyway, let's be honest. But should these people then, why people should wear masks? Should these people, the medical masks, should they be worn at all times? I don't know. I don't understand this. Anyone awaiting a COVID-19 test result has to be wearing medical masks. I don't know. I mean, I can understand that you want to protect yourself. Medical masks, even though they don't do a lot, according to the manufacturers of medical masks, something you can't find on the internet nowadays. But there is no reason to wear non-medical fabric masks. Even though they tell you can use them. But if they actually work, you will not. I'm sorry, you will not use non-medical masks if the medical masks actually work. Why not? Well, people of any age with underlying health condition, that's a lot of people in the society, including chronic respiratory disease, cardiovascular disease, cancer, obesity, immunocompromised patients, and diabetes. I'm sorry, that's a lot of people. That's most of society. So most of society should not wear non-medical fabric masks. The problem is medical masks are harder to breathe through. So I know that people with chronic respiratory diseases like COPD, wearing a mask is absolutely not something you can do. Because breathing becomes vigorous activity. Not vigorous activity, what was it called?
Hard.
Vigorous physical activity. Sorry, that's the word. Because breathing with a mask on, if you have bad lungs like myself, that's hard work. Anyway, you know what? I'm going to stop on this topic. We're going to talk about something else. My second strike is most likely incoming. Yeah, fuck YouTube. I'm sorry, people. I kind of had enough of this. I know that there are people out there who will tell you that, oh no, you should try not to get banned from YouTube because look at all the people you reach. And I don't know, maybe they're right. I find
That's
myself,
always the life.
yeah. It's to me, it's kind of funny that there are so many things that we have a problem with nowadays. But even if you believe the words of the World Health Organization, even if you take them literally, there is no reason to wear a non-medical face mask. Because it's not just
for soothing the, how to say polite, not very intelligent people, because they are still in the mass psychosis, and wearing something over their mouths make them feel more comfy. Well, better that than always screaming people, no mask, no mask.
yeah, it's
That
almost
will
as
have
if
them
they're
wearing a mask. Maybe the suffocate. Sorry.
no, but it's almost as if they have the feeling that by wearing a mask, at least they're doing something. And I can understand the idea of at least I'm doing something.
Yeah, never forget about the solidarity. You wear the mask for the others, not for yourself.
Well, in all fairness, you're wearing them for me because I'm one of the people who can't. Modwayne, you still have SOT stream. Yeah, that's true. Might go back to that one. I don't know. I need to find out what I want to do anyway. Who likes the Sea of Thieves? So let's talk about something else that I find most interesting. Did you people realize that... oh, I need to find the right page. Come on, where are you? Did you people realize that global warming seems to be on a decay? No, that's the wrong one. Bloody hell. In the Netherlands, for example, we had the coldest May, the coldest April since, well, quite a few years actually. Global temperatures are cooler in 2021 than other recent years. Oh, that's not just me saying that, by the way. Sorry, I'll have to, before people claim that I'm bringing fake news again. I'm sorry, Michael, you will see it in the stream in a moment. Back in the day when we had Hangouts, it was a lot easier to do. But I got my YouTube channel. You got a strike as well, Ludicrous. What the hell for? That's weird. Anyway, global temperatures are cooler in 2021 than other recent years. And this is not me saying this. This is, well, obviously the link I'm showing you is from Yahoo News. But this is from NASA. And now is the funny part. Because I can remember in one of my many videos last year, I said that it's most likely that this year will be cooler than previous years. And I'll not pretend to be smarter than everyone else. It's not because I saw something that no one else saw. No, actually it was predicted by a lot of astronomers. And well, we don't really have climatology as a science field, but a lot of people who are aware of the planet itself and the Milankovitch cycles and solar activity, people who keep track of all these things, they told us, yeah, it's going to be cold again. We're going to go into a period of cooler temperatures. Now, it is only May, so we might get higher temperatures still. And obviously summer is coming, so it will be warmer than it was in winter. Duh. But if we compare these summers to the summers of previous years, it is most likely that this summer will be a little bit cooler than those summers. And when I say a little bit cooler, guys, it's just going to be a little bit different. It's not going to be a huge difference. It's not going to be freezing during summer. But if that's the case, will it make sense that this global warming is still caused by men? And in 2020, we saw one of the higher temperatures in the last period of times, even though there's far less traffic, so far less CO2 pollution in the air. Funny enough, there was an article, and I mentioned it some time ago, where we talked about it, that the fact that we've been stopping traffic as much as we have may have had a negative effect on global warming, because the temperatures were higher on average than what would have been expected for that period of time. I don't understand how people can constantly keep saying, well, it must be this or that. Oh, for fuck's sake, I'm an idiot. I'm not even showing it to you guys. I'm sorry. There it is. I totals forgot. Global temperatures are cooler in 2021 than other recent years. Oh, for fuck's sake. I'm really sorry, guys. I've been talking, thinking you saw the same graph as I did. But you didn't. Mea culpa. Anyway, here is 2021. And 2021, March, has been the coldest month of March since 2014. And as I said, I kind of predicted that. And I didn't predict it. That's bullshit. I listened to people that predicted it based on the knowledge they have. So, yeah. Oh, you got a strike for something 2 years ago. Bloody hell. That's really weird. That's really weird. Now, obviously, people will tell you that, oh, it's probably something to do with a moderate La Nina, because we have El Nino and La Nina, and these always have influenced the global weather patterns, which is true. But people predicted that this would happen. The lack of a new warmest year record in 21 could sap some of the sense of urgency among policymakers in the US and abroad during a critical year for enacting stricter emission cuts to meet the Paris Agreement. See, this is what I don't understand. Because this shouldn't sap the urgency among policymakers to enable stricter emission cuts. It should make policymakers realize that, hey, wait a second. There is more to it. We don't really understand what's going on.
Well, they should make a fast decision against Bill Gates' plan to put some fine dust into the upper atmosphere to cool down the planet, because as you can see now, it would have the opposite effect.
Well, it might not have the opposite effect. I mean, if you have enough fine dust in the upper atmosphere, it will cool down the planet a lot. How do we know that?
But it will block the sunlight totally, so every life on Earth will die.
Well, only if it will block it out totally, but I mean, I'm not really scared about that. I mean, even when Krakatoa exploded a few hundred? When was Mount Krakatoa? 18th century, I think. 18th or 19th century. Oh, now I have to check this because my memory is crap. Mount Krakatoa. Krakatoa. Yeah, it happened in 1883. Fair enough. And when this happened, there was an explosion. One of the volcanoes exploded. Really, really big deal. There was a dust cloud that covered the world for a very long time, which probably caused a huge, well, not probably, which caused a huge sink of temperature. The Earth cooled down because of it. Because it also took a long time for the atmosphere to clean itself from the dust. Eventually it did, but yeah, there is that. Mount Krakatoa was an interesting development. Oppa, I'm going to go back. Never mind this, I'm going to drop this one. But it's kind of funny, isn't it? For years we've been told global warming is coming to kill us. Oh man, be afraid, be very afraid. And now we have a cold year. And indeed, Real Raven, who gave people like, what's his face again? Bill Gates, who gave people like that permission to fuck with the planet. Obviously not me. Did you, by the way, Michael? If so, now is a good time to complain.
Permission, no.
You didn't?
I even killed him off my computers, to be honest.
Yeah, I have to admit I'm crap. I still use the Microsoft products. But that's also because I'm lazy, fair is fair.
But back to the climate topic, I just posted a link to a tweet who shows a finding from NASA. It's about the South Pole gaining ice instead of losing it. It's very interesting, I think.
Okay, here we go. I'll share it a bit faster this time. Transition, and well, you posted it in the Discord server, but you can also post it in the chat, can't you? If not, I can copy, paste.
Just it.
Ah, you were faster than I am. The NASA NASA GISS study, Global International Space Station study of ice gain, blue, and loss in red in Antarctica for 1900 to 2000, when the data didn't show any net ice loss. NASA put the disclaimer that you see in the image. Graph courtesy of David Siegel via Climate Realist. Global warming is a farce beyond a farce. But I'm always happy to see stuff like this, and more people are waking up to it. Now, if people start complaining to me that we need to do something about pollution, you know what? I'm all aboard with that. I think we should. We should. But if we're going to talk about it, how it's a global warming thing, bloody hell. But yeah, you can't talk about it because how dare you?
Yeah, the Holy Greta, who has been replaced by a Native American, I believe, wouldn't be happy about it.
Mm-hmm.
Poor Greta for being replaced, by the way. Now this girl has nothing.
See, I haven't paid attention to Greta Thunberg. I feel
she
sorry
has been
for her.
replaced by the climate movement for being too white.
Really?
Yeah, let me check if I can find the link.
That's amazing. So now even the climate extremists are playing identity politics.
Yeah, it seems that way because, well, yeah, it was just a question of time, to be honest.
True, but I am surprised. But yeah, it shows it. It's not about reality, it's about the narrative. What can we tell you to make you believe that what we tell you is true? It's a shame, really. And it's scary as fuck, to be honest. Reality is something that shouldn't be talked about. How dare you? But yeah, at the same time, you have to believe what we say. I have to find that image again. 1 sec. I had an external hard drive, and on that external hard drive I had a lot of images, and that external hard drive died. So now I have to see if I maybe still have that image on my own computer as well. But with my luck, probably not. Because there was an image I had from, what's her face? Anita Sarkeesian. Listen and Believe. You guys probably already saw it. But yeah. Do I still have it? I can't find it.
Great, I found the link to the Greta news, but it has been deleted.
That's too bad. But that's a lot. We see that happening a lot. I mean, you can probably get it in the Wayback Machine, but don't worry, don't bother. Press F in the chat for that external hard drive. Yeah, well, I need to get it fixed. I hope the drive itself is still accessible. I really do so.
Was it a Samsung?
I can't remember. I don't have it here. I think it was a Toshiba, to be honest. It's a pretty good one, but yeah, it stopped being good when it stopped working. No, I can't find that Listen and Believe image. I must have had it on my other... I must have had it on the hard drive. I'm sorry, guys. But yeah, there are a few things going on in the world, and reality is a strange thing. It needs to suffer the consequences of the ideologically driven people to tell you how to live your life. So how are things in Switzerland, Michael?
Depends on the point of view. Let's just say I remember a time not too long ago when people complained about this kind of behavior of governments when it boiled down to China or Russia, and now they are cheering for the exact same things. And just me mentioning anything against the government, not liking what they do, brand marks me as a terrorist, and they can come in and give me a house search and everything because of the anti-terror laws. That's a change they made recently against because the COVIDiots are now considered terrorists to a danger to democracy, and I can't puke as much as I can eat. The other way around. I can't eat as much as I want to puke.
Well, it is funny though, because nowadays indeed we are witnessing the change of democracy. Democracy has... Most democratic countries have become rather fascistic. You have to do it
it's
because...
not a change of democracy, it's the killing of democracy.
Well,
getting rid of it.
That is true. That is true. But it's kind of funny because a lot of people don't really notice this, but it is a form of fascism when the government tells you what to do for the good of the state. Whether it's good for you or not, who cares? It's for the good of the state. Therefore, this is what you must do. But how is that not fascism?
For the greater good.
Well, it's not even for the greater good. It's for the good of the state. But I don't understand how keeping children home from school is good for the greater good. I mean, it's not good for the children.
Or using vaccines that don't cause anything and enforce them on children for something that they don't even get sick of.
Wait, another beautiful thing. I mean, in the Netherlands, the Prime Minister and the Minister of Health, well, both are demissionaire now because the government has fallen and new people will take over for them. But the ones, well, hopefully. But they once already said that vaccines are kind of useless for people under 60. There's a bigger chance you get sick from the vaccine than you will get seriously sick from corona, they claimed. I can actually show you the video. Where is it? Oh, I gotta show you that one. Oh, it's in Dutch. So that's not that useful.
Onder de 60.
What?
Dat is het punt namelijk, hè, Hugo.
Stop. I want to show it, so I have to show it. So, okay. On the left of the screen, the mouse is here. That's Mark Rutte. That's our, well, demissionaire Prime Minister. And this is our demissionaire Minister of Health.
De 30 en de 40, nee.
Echt niet. Dat is het punt namelijk, hè, Hugo. Onder de 60 is dan de kans dat je daaraan overlijdt, begint vergelijkbaar te worden met de kans dat je overlijdt aan COVID. Of is misschien...
And now I'm going to translate it. Under the 60, the chance of you dying from the vaccine is becoming equal to the chance of dying from COVID itself. I have it open for myself because I'm planning to do something with it. I might not. But here you have the Prime Minister saying that there's a risk with the vaccines. There's a chance of dying from it. The chance is almost as big as dying from this disease itself. Well, under 60, obviously. It's not me saying it, people. But I'm not allowed to say it. I'm pretty sure this is going to cause me my second strike. Gotta love it. Anyway, you have anything interesting to say? Oh.
Can't think of a thing at the moment, to be honest.
Me neither. Did you hear it, by the way?
Yeah, but didn't understand a single word until you translated it.
Yeah, I'm sorry, it's Dutch. And I haven't seen
Oh,
it.
I have an interesting topic.
Go on.
For the recent few days, I was asking myself, do I want to stay here in Europe with all this insanity going on? And I was thinking, in which country could one live? Where would one be A, welcomed, and B, safe?
Well, that's a good question. Did you find an answer?
Well, other than Tanzania, for obvious reasons, I can't come up with another country because if you think about it, where do you want to go? Every fucking country is okay with the COVID
Well, Sweden.
insanity, to be honest, but this will cause you the third strike.
Sweden hasn't done anything to play along with the COVID insanity.
Yeah,
That's why
but never forget, Sweden is still a feminist heaven.
hell,
and,
yes.
What
No,
would I as a man do there?
true that, and one of the many reasons not to want to go to Sweden. But I also like it that Sweden is one of the countries that did nothing when it came to COVID restrictions, and somehow they didn't do much worse than any of the other countries. They didn't do much better either, don't get me wrong. I'll not pretend that they didn't get touched by it, because that's not true either. But yeah, Sweden didn't do much worse or much better than other European countries. And there's another thing.
Worthwhile to mention is also that cannot speak anymore. That there are now 22 states in the United States who reopened, and they have not higher numbers. As a matter of fact, they have lowering numbers, and the lower numbers than those who are still in the lockdown, wearing masks, and so on. As if the measurements don't do anything except making everything worse.
Yeah. Well, one of the things I found interesting when it comes to COVID in the Netherlands, and I'm pretty sure this is true for not just for the Netherlands, most people in this country that got hit by COVID were people of foreign descent. Don't get me wrong, I don't think this is happening because these people don't wear their mask or they don't, how do you call it, wash their hands or any of that nonsense. But there's another problem with, I mean, in the Netherlands, you have local people and people that come from other countries. And most of these other countries are around the Middle East. They have a slightly darker skin color than the rest of us. What happens if you have a darker skin color?
Less vitamin D production due to the sun.
What happens
Well,
when you don't have
due
enough
to the
vitamin D?
blocking of the sun.
Well, yeah. So it's amazing to me because we know this and we're not doing anything with it. It's strange. Let me put it like that. It's strange to me. And this is something that happened in the Netherlands, and I'm pretty sure these numbers are pretty much the same in a lot of other countries as well. I mean, in Germany, they had a lot of COVID people dying, and not more than the Netherlands, by the way. I mean, yeah, sure, it's a bigger country with more people. So in raw numbers, they would have more deaths, but other than that, they did pretty well the same as the rest of us. The thing is, most of the people there that died were of non-native descent. Why do you think we're not talking about that?
My racism?
But these people died. I mean, shouldn't we try to prevent them from dying? Or am I now really silly?
I'm just not sure if I should answer this question, to be honest.
I don't know. Who am I to tell what is reality? But I really want people to do better. I really want people to be healthy. And back in the days, there were actually professionals advising people to use more, how do you call it? Vitamin D and zinc, if I'm not mistaken.
Vitamin C, D, and zinc.
Well,
also
yes.
known as nutritional supplements.
Yeah.
And they recommended to do this every time winter's coming.
Yeah. It's amazing because if you know that this is the case, then why aren't we, how do you call it? Why aren't we protecting people with that? Why aren't we protecting people by giving them vitamin D? Vitamin D isn't expensive. See, I don't understand this. Anyway, I really didn't have much to talk about today. Maybe in the future I'm going to start talking more about, I don't know, social health is something that I wanted to do in the past. Maybe I should do that more, talk about, yeah, stuff like that. Well, Go Prepper is not a bad idea, Ludicrous. Let's be honest. In the UK, I'm not sure. In the Netherlands, I'm not sure. But in America, there are places where they have already food shortages. In the United States, there are food shortages. Fucking hell. How bizarre is that?
Well, always remember the great TP shortage in 2020. It can happen.
Yeah. That's, it's scary though. So
And
maybe
this is just the beginning, because now we are starting to see the breakdown of economy, especially the small and middle ones, because they can survive just that much time and then it's over.
Yeah, yeah.
Also, we are already seeing the prices are exploding because the supply chains broke down during the last year. For example, I have an example from my home village here. I was talking to a, well, not giving out details. He's a craftsman and he couldn't do any orders, couldn't fulfill any orders anymore because he just don't have a supply and he doesn't get any. He wasn't getting the tools. He didn't get the material. Nothing. The ones he gotten exploded in price by over 1000% already. And this is the beginning.
Well, something like that happened in Venezuela too. And look where that ended up.
Yeah, and look how that started.
Yep. I'm glad that in the Netherlands, for example, yeah, okay, there are some things to help people, but we didn't spend as much money on the Dutch. Funny enough, in the Netherlands, we spend a lot of money on the Greeks, the French, the Italians, the Spanish, and hell, even the Germans. So, yeah. We're basically creating a downward structure when it comes to all of our economies in Europe. It's amazing.
Yeah, and it's amazing how people are still all. Oh, I hate stuttering just to mention it once in a while. How people are green with all this, even though they are directly affected of everything that happens.
Yeah.
Just out of fear of a virus that wasn't so bad, to be honest. Because we had 9,500 and some odd numbers dead of COVID-19 in 2020. We had 9,900 and odd people who smoked themselves to death.
Yeah.
You don't see a lockdown for, against tobacco usage.
Against?
Tobacco usage, like smoking.
Oh, right, yeah. No, that's true. It's amazing. It's amazing. And in a way, it's upsetting. Or at least it is upsetting to me. Oh, well.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't know what to talk about anymore. I kind of... This is upsetting me, you know that?
Yeah, I know the feeling. The issue is there will be not lots of topic to talk about, but if you do it publicly, yeah, you could disappear like it happened with the Soviet Union and German Democratic Republic.
Yeah. Yeah, because now talking about stuff that they don't want you to think about is actually dangerous. That's...
It's like Fahrenheit 451.
yeah, it is. It is. Oh, well. You know what? I'm going to call it quits for today.
Yeah, probably better. Real Raven already having anxiety due to me. I shall have this effect on people.
No, well, it's affecting me too, and it's not you, and it's... But the stupidity of what we live in. I mean, we talked about the mask at the beginning. We talked about the global warming thing. And still people are talking about, well, yeah, but the problem this, problem that. It's yeah, I don't know. I'll try to find something nice to talk about. For example, did you know that there was a Eurovision Song Festival again?
Yeah, they called it Free Eurovision Song Contest or something here.
Yeah.
But I didn't listen. I still got taste.
The song that was admitted by the Dutch, it's really, really... You know, I remember the day when the Eurovision Song Festival, people would sing in the native tongue. And it was basically a way to promote your country to the other countries.
Yeah, it was also the reason why Switzerland never won.
Well, yeah, fair enough. But now it's become a woke environment for woke people to do woke stuff. I mean, the Dutch actually, the song the Dutch put forward, A Birth of a New Age, it's called, by Django Macroy. And I mean, if you look at the lyrics, if you listen to the lyrics, it starts with a skin as rich as a starlit night. And I'm like, who has a skin like that? And then obviously a lot of the returning verses is your rhythm is rebellion. And then they start talking, where is it? born in resilience, proud like a lion, we are the birth of a new age. How?
Well, they do attempt a great reset, so the song's probably perfectly fitting.
And this is the thing. If you listen to the whole song, and I'm not going to give it to you here because, man oh man, I will have problems when I do so. But the second verse, soul blazing like a hurricane, your rhythm is rebellion, bloody, 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 spirit roaring wild like an untamed flame. They buried your gods, they imprisoned your thought, they tried to drain you of your faith, but you are the rage that melts the chains. This ain't the end, no, it's the birth of a new age. And I'm like, I can talk about any ideology down there, positively or negatively, that this could apply to. Hell, look at communism. Which were the gods of communism? Well, obviously they didn't really have gods of communism, but everyone thinks Marx was great, Lenin did a good job, and Stalin did a good job. Well, they buried them, and thinking positively about them is considered a negative thing. They buried the concepts Hitler stood for. Yeah, they drained them of your faith when it comes to these people as well. Don't get me wrong. Lenin, Stalin, Hitler were bad people. But it would fit within the lyrics. Dust in the Turkey? I can't remember that one. We're running in the Eurovision with a professional alternative jazz band. Okay. No, but and then the chorus of the song that the Netherlands come forward with is "You man broko me." I have no idea what it means, but I think it might mean that something like "You will not break me." But it's not English.
You go walk, man, you break.
Well, man broko me. I'm like, it sounds like broccoli, and broccoli is, well, broccoli. You eat that stuff. I was planning on making a video on it, but I can't be asked to make videos at the moment. I have zero motivation at the moment. I'm sorry, good people. But this is the stories of wokeness and how it infects everything. I mean, back in the days, you could listen to the European Song Festival and you just knew certain countries would always give their points to other countries, and good neighbor being good neighbor, so to speak. And the songs, they might be crap or they might be great, but they were a way to look at the nation. Now it's hollow. Hell, a few years ago it was Israel. I don't even know why Israel is part of the European Song Festival, never mind that. Who won the song with that strange woman talking about, I can't remember the song, chicken or something. Remember the fat one?
No, and I'm not sure if I want.
Yeah, that's true. I don't think I want to either. I remember when those wannabe heavy metal guys won. Oh yes, from Finland. That was funny. That was funny. What were they, Lord? That was funny.
Lordi, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, Paula has written it too, yeah. Lordi from Finland.
They were funny. I never heard anything from them again, to be honest. But then again, that says something about me as well, because I haven't really looked into it.
No, actually, with the Eurovision Song Contest, you only have people who, have no life otherwise.
Yeah, well,
except DJ Bobo.
If that's true, we should be able to participate ourselves as well, let's be honest.
Yeah, you and me singing. Paolo at the drums, Ludacris playing the guitar.
Remember the Russian grannies? That wasn't actually that bad. That was, what, 2 years ago? 3 years ago?
Wait, you actually watched that shit?
No, actually, this one came across YouTube once or twice. No, I haven't watched the Eurovision Song Festival for more than 30 years, I think. When I was a kid, we used to watch it at home. But,
Yeah, that's the good old times when there was just one television channel and you were forced to watch it.
No.
Because the TV was expensive. We have to make use of it as much as we can.
It wasn't that bad when I was young. Come on. How old do you think I am? But,
Hey, that's what I heard.
fair enough, fair enough. I didn't, but fair enough. No, I mean, it was basically back in the day before it became a pro, no, not pro-gay. It wasn't pro-gay as much as it became a gay thing. It used to be for old people. The elderly loved it. But, yeah. And don't forget, well, Real Raven on the keyboards, and he's going to mix, obviously. He's going to be our musical director, let's be honest.
Well, he can operate the auto-tune.
Real Raven did some great stuff. There are a few videos on my channel with me singing, produced by Real Raven. So,
yeah, but without auto-tune. That's why if we both are going to sing, Real Raven has to operate the auto-tune, otherwise it's gonna be crap.
well, maybe. Well, that could be true. Anyway, good people, I wish you all a very good time, and I hope to see you all soon. Michael,
Yeah,
you
good
have it?
night, everyone.
And this is where I'm going to click bye-bye.